Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. You'll get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And when I'm not asking Bruce, hey, how big was Batista's? Well, you know. One of the things I like to do is help people save money. And if you're watching this video right now and you're in a 30-year loan, man, you're overpaying your single biggest bill and you may not even realize it. I want you to do a little experiment for me. Take your calculator out, multiply your monthly house payment by 360 payments. That's how many payments there are in a 30-year loan. That big scary number, that's your total of payments. You're looking at that number? You know you can do better. Keep more of your own money right now and go to savewithconrad.com. Or maybe you've got credit card debt. Man, it's not a matter of if I can save you money with that. Your average interest rate on a credit card is more than 20%. And by the way, all the interest you pay on those credit cards, it's not tax deductible. Whereas the mortgage interest, well, that is tax deductible. So if you owe this debt, it's up to you how to pay it back. Doesn't it make sense to get the cheapest rate possible and the greatest tax deduction possible? Find out how much money you can save right now for free at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. Even scores in the 500s can be approved, and it's no cost out of pocket. But maybe best of all, we're licensed in more than 40 states. We can help more families than ever before. But how much can we save you? Find out right now for free with a quick quote from savewithconrad.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, Bodden, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff. Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette, Champ, Vinnie, Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules, cat back. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a tip. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
I am good. I'm sorry. I am well. I don't want to use bad grammar. I don't want to use bad grammar, and I don't want to say words that would offend people.
Oh,
so there.
We should just quit while we're ahead.
Well, I guess. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next. No, I was thinking about that before we started recording here. And I understand in today's age of society that you should be more in tune with what's going on, and I am. But there's some words out there that I just wonder why people get offended by it. Like, for instance, and something we're going to see next week is a midget beating off in a trash can.
Oh,
now,
my goodness.
Now, people would probably be more offended for us to say midget than they would us saying beat off in a trash can. And I wonder why. Just some, and there was, the Washington Post used a word, and this woman on Facebook flew into them, and it was just a word that had, and I'm, anyway, if you are offended by some of those, and there are words you should be offended by, and terms you should be offended by, and I get that, and I understand that, but some are just like, sometimes I think people are looking for shit. Am I right? That people are just looking for shit.
Well, I hope you're looking to watch an old episode of Monday Night Raw, because that's what you can expect from us today.
Hello. Who am I? Hello.
1998 is what we're going to be checking out.
Is goddamn mic working? Oh, test, 1, test, 1, 2.
Are you not hearing me at all over there?
No, I mean, you didn't respond, and you just went vroom, vroom, off into another one. Vroom, vroom, brum, 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 off into another one.
Well, because you're trying to talk about non-wrestling shit.
Oh, well, we shouldn't do that on this show. No, man, let's not do that. Man, let's talk about wrestling. We can't talk about anything else.
Yeah.
We can't talk about how stupid our friends are, how dumb Dave Silva is, how much dog hair I got in this freaking house, how Lois's arm is still bothering her 10 years later, how, I don't know. Oh, by the way, I did something that I've always wanted to do.
Oh.
You react like it's going to be something creepy. When I went down to Jacksonville for a recent AEW Dynamite, I always rent a car and drive. I rented a Mustang. How about that, buddy?
Can't hide money.
No, there's a certain amount that they'll pay for, and I pay for the rest of it. So it was mostly paid for. And buddy, those sumbitches will take off. Are you just in the mood this morning?
No, you're just talking a lot. So I'm trying to let you get all your gimmicks in.
Oh, I get it. Go to lowestrules.com where you can pick up your t-shirts.
Hey, real talk. Are we going to acknowledge the fact that I recently had an opportunity to meet you in public and you literally had money falling out of your pockets?
Yeah, I did. $2 came out of my pockets.
Well, I'm just saying that's where you are in life. You wear gold bracelets and money literally just flies out of your pockets.
I try to stick my phone in a different pocket that I have my money. And that time I failed to. And when I pulled my phone out, 2 $1 bills fell on the floor. And everybody said, "Oh, your money's falling out of your pants. Look how rich you are."
Yeah.
Oh, fucking shit.
Dude, you pulled up to the comedy club and asked about valet.
That's Randy Valet. It's a guy that I knew when I used to do baseball in Chattanooga. So see, you got that mixed up too. I say, "Is Randy Valet here?" And they said, "Valet your car, sir?" I said, "No, Randy Never mind.
Let me just ask, hypothetically, are we going to get to talk about wrestling at all today, or we just...
Well, yeah, I usually think that we just kind of bullshit a little bit before we get into the actual wrestling show.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're doing that because I got a question.
Okay.
This collection of misfits that we talked about at the beginning of last week's show.
Yeah.
You know, stupid ass Mark Nielsen,
Oh.
dumbass Pokemon hunting rotten crotch, doodoo-trucking.com, Buttercream Dream, Corey Ryan Forrester,
Jesus.
Nothing Happening, Casio Kid. You know, all these guys. I could go on and on.
Yeah, boy.
Should we create like a little team name for them? Like Howard Stern has the Whack Pack.
Right.
We need like a little group name for these guys. And I thought, since, you know, you have this big love of baseball and this is kind of our squad, what if we named our group of Whack Packers the Sad News Bears?
I like it.
Okay.
So it can be 9 or more.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's obviously more than 9.
We got to have a designated hitter, got to have a pitching squad, but yeah,
Right.
The Sad News Bears.
The Sad News Bears.
I think it'll get over.
I love it. I think it would become a goal of people
To be a member of the Sad News Bears.
to be a member of the Sad News Bears.
Aim higher, folks. Aim higher. You know what though? Knowing Ryan, I bet there's already a Sad News Bears shirt over at lowestrules.com. You know, he gets this show as soon as we click stop, I share it with him. So
Wow.
let's just see how good he is.
All right.
Let's see if there's a race for space over at LoisRules.com. Will there be a Sad News Bears shirt? You got to check it out over at LoisRules.com. Hey, since we are talking about you with money flying out of your pockets.
I thought we were talking about dumbasses.
Well, I'm talking about Dave Silva.
Oh boy.
So that kind of counts, right? Here's my question.
Yep.
Stupid ass Dave Silva, you and I, Cassio Kid, friend of the show, Shuley, all get together and I have you a mule and he wants a strawberry tequila mule.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not even a thing, man.
Yeah.
Like a mule means that it's got vodka in it.
Right.
It was originally referred to as a Moscow mule.
Right.
And now you guys are getting out here and saying, I want a strawberry tequila mule. No, what you want is called something fucking different.
No, see, now why did you say you guys?
Well,
because I drank one?
Well, because you and Dave Silva, y'all are over here playing goddamn follow the leader with Jim Ross. And everybody's got to have a mule now.
It's because of the cups. They're cold and they feel cold and they feel good in your hand.
Do you know that you can ask for anything in that goddamn cup? Hey, I want a fucking vodka cranberry, but bring it to me in a stupid ass mule cup. Okay.
But listen, fucker, don't hate on me because I drank a strawberry tequila mule.
Whoa.
I ate it. I drank it because it was bought for me.
Wait.
The first one was bought by Silva. The second one was bought by you. And I don't turn down free drinks.
I know, we all know that. Oh, alligator arm, Schiavone. Here's my question though. I didn't know that you got on this strawberry tequila mule because I ordered you a regular ass mule. And she said, what kind of vodka? And I said, Tito's. And she said, what kind? And I looked at her like a confused dog for a minute. And I said, the only kind. And she's like, what kind of Tito? Oh yeah. There's only one flavor, lady. There's not multiple kinds of, you got big bottles and smaller bottles of the same shit, regular ass Tito's. But you're telling me what she brought you was strawberry tequila?
I think so. I was too busy laughing at the show. I was having it just laughing. So I'm not so sure.
Well, nobody else was.
Oh, geez. Well, anyway.
Eventually today, guys, we're going to get around to watching wrestling and we hope to do it with you. It's a very special episode of Monday Night Raw from July 6, 1998. And the reason we're going back and doing this is because today we're watching a taped Raw that was actually recorded on June 30th in State College, PA. And it would air 6 days later, July 6th. This is going to go head to head with the Monday Nitro from the Georgia Dome, where Hulk Hogan would drop his world championship title to Goldberg. And it was one of the biggest Nitros ever. Certainly had the most folks ever in cable television history watch the title switch. And somehow Raw had to compete with a taped show. So we're going to let you take a peek at what that is. Tony Schiavone has never seen this.
No.
And tomorrow on Grill and JR, I'm going to watch that Nitro with Jim Ross, who's also never seen that show. So the voice of Nitro is going to watch Raw and the voice of Raw is going to watch Nitro. We hope you're digging what we're putting out here. That show is available at grillandjr.com, anywhere you enjoy podcasts. Of course, you can get it early and ad free right now over at adfreeshows.com. Tony, I'm ready whenever you are, unless you've got more preambles or life lessons before we start watching a little wrestling.
No, I don't think I'm very good at life lessons.
Oh shit.
What?
I didn't say anything.
And I just thought that maybe that we would just discuss a few things here before we got started because,
Okay.
I mean, with the exception of the Sad News Bears, we kind of like each other in our group.
Oh no, I agree. And I've been meaning to tell you something, and I don't know if we should do this before we press play or after, but there is something that I'm ready to come out with. And Well, it was a hard conversation to have, but I had a real hard conversation here at the house this weekend with the wife, and we've sort of had to come clean on some things. And I figure since I share everything with our audience, I should do that here as well.
Okay.
So I didn't know if you wanted to do that now, or if you feel more comfortable doing it later.
I'm ready.
Well, I'll tell you, it was something that I've wanted her to know for a long time, and it's just been weighing on me heavy. And we did our weekend drive. You know that we do that every weekend, whether it's a Saturday or a Sunday morning. We pick a car and go scoot around and just explore North Alabama and Southern Tennessee for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. And it was a fun trip this week. And I was just overcome with it and had it on my heart and needed to share it with her. And we talked about it, and, we're going to figure it out. And I just wanted to tell you, Tony, too, here in front of everybody, that I've always wanted to be an OBGYN in a strip mall. And for like as long as I can remember, being a mini mall, sort of strip mall gynecologist has really been an ambition of mine. And I've decided I'm going to pursue it.
I think it's tremendous.
Thank you.
I think it's tremendous. Go get it, man.
I'm really appreciative of all of your support, because it's been a big deal to me, ever since I saw, what they're doing these days in those offices. I've decided that it's probably something I ought to look into a little more.
Yeah, boy, really look into it.
So I'm going to be looking into it.
That's quite a career. That's quite a career change. And I think it's a great idea. And I think it'll give us a lot more to talk about here on a weekly basis.
Well, I'm with it for the long haul. I've been doing a lot of amateur work over the years, just working on my apprenticeship. And now I think I'm ready to take the next step and actually go to school officially for it. So dreams come true, guys.
It'll probably be a lot of those ones in the strip mall. You can place them like between the nail salon and the Asian restaurant.
Well, it's
restaurant. Sorry, restaurant.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because, I've always sort of freestyled, and I told Cassio Kid and his lovely wife, Judy, what my goals and ambitions were this week as well. And we had some fireworks at the house, but we had a real discussion about what all do you think would be in there. And I was like, well, with any luck, there'd be like a State Farm agent. And maybe it could be anchored, like the end cap could be like a Starbucks with a drive-through.
Oh, and and I'll work there.
Oh, fuck, man. Cause we could combine two of your favorite things, helping people and coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we can put a storefront to lowestrules.com.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because
right.
I think we also need like a Jamba Juice in there.
Yeah.
Some sort of like Smoothie King, some sort of solution like that. Maybe even one of those tropical cafes, so you can do the flatbreads and the smoothies.
Yeah.
We need something like that.
Sounds good. I'm ready. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Young man like yourself, successful as you are, realize that you could help other people.
Yep. And something you have a passion for.
No doubt.
Helping people.
Yes. That's what I meant.
Yeah. What we could also do is we could get Dave Silva in that same strip mall to open like a, I guess it would be like a furniture store, because they could have bedroom sets and dinettes and, sectionals and all that stuff.
And then you walk in the front door and you say, Mr. Silva? And he'd go, yes, I would like to see this one of your best bedroom sets, your newest bedroom sets. And his response was, I'll get to it here in a minute.
Oh, has that been your experience lately?
Kind of throughout time.
Dave's been too busy to help you?
No, sometimes you got to prod him along.
Well, I was thinking we could even have him redo that commercial like that guy in Montgomery did. Do you remember that furniture commercial?
No.
Really?
No.
Here, let me refresh your memory.
The best of. It's just like he's here.
My God.
It's amazing how we just kind of fall in the shit.
It is.
It's what makes the world wonderful.
Dude, how great is that? It's just like a mini mall. I'm fired up about that.
Is that like a current thing running, or is that like?
Oh no, it's like 15 years old. I'm just playing the hits for you.
All right, it's tremendous.
Oh, by the way, we got really good feedback about I Am My Own Grandpa, and by really good feedback, I mean everyone recognizes that The Stupids with Tom Arnold is the worst movie of all time.
It is. Oh.
Well, I'm sure you had a big weekend, with Hamilton coming out for everybody.
Didn't watch it.
What?
Did not watch it.
Tony, you gotta go watch that.
Yeah, I know. I want to, but I want.
Can I give you a spoiler?
Yeah, he dies.
Oh, okay. So, it came up, Megan and I saw it. It was like one of our first dates, and she was totally oblivious to what it was or how big of a ticket it was to get at the time. And then afterwards, when she would just casually mention it to people, they'd lose their minds. Like, oh my God, you saw Hamilton? She was like, yeah. But anyway, Big Booty Judy's hanging out this weekend with Cassio Kid. She mentioned she wants to see it. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll watch that. I'm in. So we fire it up, and, when it said intermission, Judy had an audible groan. I think she was ready for an hour and 15 minutes. She wasn't ready for nearly 3 hours.
Yeah. That's the way the musicals are.
She tapped out fast.
Yeah. I want to see it. And I was at my daughter's house on the 4th of July, and she wanted to watch it, and I kind of wanted to watch it. Mm. I love musicals, as you know, but I got to be in a musical mood. Mm. So she put on Hamilton, and Lois immediately went to her phone and started reading her emails and doing Facebook. And we were one song into it, and I could tell that Lois was getting uneasy. And I told my daughter, I said, we got to go home. It was getting late anyway, so we left. And as big a fan as Lois is of musicals, she has nothing that she wants to do about Hamilton. And with her, it's all political, because apparently the cast of Hamilton.
Oh God.
You remember that? Something
yes,
about
the
vice president, and went to see him, and they didn't want to meet him or whatever.
Yeah. They didn't put over Pence. Who cares?
Right. Yeah. Right. Who cares? And right. But for her, she just doesn't like that. And so we went back home and watched La La Land.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is another musical.
Oh, God.
That was actually very good.
No.
Oh, it's tremendous. Emma Stone won Best Actress for that.
Yeah.
So, there. So I haven't seen Hamilton yet, but of course, it's on Disney Plus, which I have, and I'm getting around to it. I'm going to watch it. Probably by myself here at the house.
Well, you're always welcome to watch it at the Conradison.
All right.
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to watch the fucking show.
I think so too, man. Let's go.
All right. So without further ado, let's fire up your WWE network. We want you to scoot over to Raw. If you're watching on your computer like us, there's a Raw tab at the top. You'll just click that, then select the year you want. You're looking for 1998. Scroll down until you see July 6th. The runtime of this show is 1 hour, 35 minutes and 12 seconds. You're going to start at 000000000, and hopefully you'll turn on your closed captioning, but turn off your sound. Tony Schiavone, the beautiful Tony Schiavone, will help us count backwards from 3. We'll go 3, 2, 1, play. And when he says play, you press play, and we'll be watching Raw from July 6th, 1998 together. Mm-hmm. Tony, let us know when you're ready, and we'll try to be ready.
I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Okay. When I go 3, 2, 1, play, do you click when I say play, or after I say play, do you click?
I say play when you say play. I mean, I press play when you say play.
Okay. So when I say play, press play. I mean, not now, but when I say it the next time.
Yeah. I mean,
Here we-
if you can't figure this part out, just
Okay.
turn the show off. This is not for you. This is adult shit.
Okay. Here we go. Stand by. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Track it. I like the anticipation. I love these old signature opens.
I give you the World Wrestling Federation champion, Nerd Champion. I give you Kane.
Kane, 7 feet, 325, the WWF champion.
The reason I'm out here is because I want a rematch with Kane right here tonight.
What? Son? What? Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! It ain't gonna be pretty, but the goal is on the line. The WWF champion, clad in a satanic red, Austin the Challenger. Sounds good, doesn't it? This crowd is jacked. Come on, here we go. Look at this. Straight from hell comes the Undertaker. Now what is his mission tonight? All off the counter. Kane misses that foot. Off the counter. The starter. Stone Cold. Hits the leg. Yes! Austin. No! And the Undertaker is in the ring. And you gotta believe with evil intentions. Oh, there. Whoa! Austin just paid the Undertaker back for the king of the ring. My God, what a stunner!
So there's your backstory of what's happened. King of the Ring was 8 days prior to this. At that show, it was a first blood match between Kane and Stone Cold for the world title. The undercard, of course, is famously when Mick Foley as Mankind was thrown off the top of the Hell in a Cell by the Undertaker. So Kane became your world champion. He won a first blood match, and it was a very screwy finish. Lots of questions, lots of rumor and innuendo around the finish of was it accidental. But they do the rematch the very next night on Raw, pop a huge rating that absolutely obliterates Nitro. And it's such a devastating win that Eric Bischoff presses the panic button based on advice from Hulk Hogan. And they go on Thunder and announce that in just a handful of days at the Nitro at the Georgia Dome, Hulk Hogan will defend his world title against Goldberg, who is undefeated, and the streak is very much alive. And it would absolutely kick the shit out of this taped Raw episode. But a lot of people have questioned that over the years, Tony. Did WCW make the right move in giving away a bankable pay-per-view payday main event just to sort of overreact and win a Monday night rating?
The answer is yes. You could see where we were worrying more about our number for Turner Broadcasting, because we were owned by Turner Broadcasting at that time.
Correct.
Than we were trying to for business. Yeah, big time panic button. You're right. And I want to tell you,
Please do.
the open that we just saw.
You didn't like it?
Oh, I loved it. I love JR's. God damn. Could he make something sound big?
Well, you could too. You don't ever give yourself enough credit.
I don't know if I like that, man. I remember thinking way back when that in 1989, Vince had said, I think Schiavone's a little bit too Southern.
Mm.
And then of course you want to track this
Sure.
first?
Sure. No problem.
Okay.
Austin, I want a title shot, and I want it right now.
Whoa, what a phenom, not wasting any words. The Undertaker wants Stone Cold.
I think you should track the rest of it if he keeps talking.
Okay. So, anyway, then when JR started working for him, I thought, well, if I'm too Southern, why is he using him? Well, it's very apparent because he was the best at it. All right, who we got in the back? This Todd Pettengumi?
No, it's Michael Cole
Okay.
with a goatee.
Okay, Michael Cole. So here, I'm looking in here. Oh, someone's shitting there. Whoop, phew, didn't flush. Let's see. I'm going to the right. See, I'm going to go to the left. Dave Meltzer, are you in there? Nope. Dave Meltzer's not in there. Okay. All right, let's see. There's Gold Dust. There. Okay, let's go. Let's look in here. Whoop. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, Steve. I want to
challenge from the Undertaker tonight. I got no time to talk. You know, get the hell out of my way. Steve.
What do you say, JR? He's coming out here.
Well, the Undertaker is looking at the Titantron as we are at this moment watching Stone Cold apparently head toward the arena here.
We're fixing to have a title shot right here on television.
Now, what a way to start off Raw if indeed Austin and the Undertaker hook it up right here.
Yes.
The Undertaker has demanded that Austin defend the title here. And the Undertaker doesn't want to wait. And maybe he doesn't have to. Here it comes! Stone Cold Steve Austin will never, ever back away from any challenge. Even a challenge as demonic, as evil, and as physical as The Undertaker.
The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin are fixing to get it on right here tonight. I love it.
An impromptu WWF title match.
Is it any wonder that wrestling was as fucking big as it was when you had Goldberg and the NWO on the other channel and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon on this channel?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Vince is saying right now?
Mm-hmm. I fired Eric Bischoff. I would have fired Tony Schiavone had he taken the job. I'd have been great. 3 months into it, he'd have been fired too. We demoted Paul Heyman. We'll demote your ass. Something like that.
You have a hard on for Vince, don't you?
No, not at all. I furloughed a lot of people using the coronavirus as a lame excuse. I might furlough your ass if you weren't making so much money for me. So there, what are you going to do? I'm I'm a billionaire. You're not. I write your paychecks, you ball-headed motherfucker. It'd have been something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. Wow. I know Schiavone's making fun of me because guess what? He's not that much younger than me. And one of these days, his brain is going to snap like mine has already. But who gives a shit? I'll die a billionaire. He'll die with a bunch of debt and dog hair. So who wins? Me or him?
We should just stop the show. We'll never beat. I'll die a billionaire. He'll die in debt with dog hair. Can't be beat.
The truth hurts.
So where you at on all this, Tony?
What's going on right now?
Yeah, just, wrestling in 1998.
I'm really digging it. I'm really not. So what actually was Vince saying here? He wasn't going to allow this match unless someone.
You're going to be in the ring together, all right, going at it, but as a tag team, whether you like it or not.
Man, well, that's a blockbuster right there.
At Fully Loaded, Austin, you and Undertaker will face the tag team of Kane and Mankind.
Oh, wow! And that'll be a war.
These two guys gotta
and
be
by the way,
partners.
Undertaker, since you're so hell-bent and obsessed at being the WWF champion, then certainly you
and every other WWF superstar who can hear my voice around the world will hang on every word that I say when I come to that ring tonight and step into that ring, that very ring you're in, and name the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
Wow, JR.
And Stone Cold, least anyone misunderstand how I feel from the bottom of my heart about you once again being the WWF champion. Allow me, Stone Cold, to salute you.
Salute? Look at that, what a class act. I told you, Vince. Oh, well, you look at that. Vince flipped him off. Oh, my, he did it again. He flipped off Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh.
What do you think about Vince flipping people off on TV?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I always like the character of Mr. McMahon. But you know what bothers me about all this?
Let's hear it.
They came out. He wanted a title shot. Right?
Yeah.
He came out. It looked like he was going to get the title shot. The fans were pumped for it. Vince ixnayed that, and the fans didn't like it. In other words, Vince talked about, you're going to be partners at whatever, and the fans were pissed. You could tell.
Well, because he's a heel.
No, they were pissed because they thought they were going to see that match.
He's a heel.
Right? Got it.
He's a heel.
Just, yeah, but still, I mean,
He's a
and to the
heel.
fan.
Oh, by the way, this is Brakkus. We're about ready for the Brawl for All. Are you ready for this
Oh
shit?
my God. This is the thing that ended Dr. Death Steve Williams' career, right?
Yes. So this guy, and he's fighting Savio Vega, but Brakkus was a Vince project. He was a bodybuilder and they wanted to teach him to wrestle, and it went so well, they sent him down to ECW. So here's the point system. 3 1-minute rounds. Most punches per round gets 5 points. If you get a takedown, that's 5 points. Knockdowns are worth 10 points. It's the Brawl for All.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to ECW, and now he's back, and they're going to feed him to Savio Vega here, and he's about done. You know, some guys take to wrestling like a fish to water, and this guy unfortunately did not.
Got Grandpa as the referee.
He looks like a legitimate boxing ref, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a takedown. 10 points.
Oh,
it's
man.
a shoot. It's a Vince Russo shoot.
It is, for real. Let's track it for a minute.
Got that street fighting background, and maybe it's a good thing for Brakkus that Savio can't use his feet. Oh, shot! What a shot there! Big time shot by Savio, and Savio, even though he's Brakkus is staggered. The right hand got in. Oh man, what a haymaker! And the big German is in trouble here. His knees are buckling, JR. Yeah,
Where was that goddamn referee? They should have stopped that one already. Holy shit. I guess the goal is, let's see how many concussions we can get in a round. That motherfucker was knocked for a loop. Let's see what they're saying in the corners here.
yes, here's this. Bam! Right there, man. Look, oh, wow. Wow. Whoa. Brakkus lowered those hands and his head. And Savio making him pay for it as Brakkus was literally saved by the bell. What a shot there. Pow! Right to the kisser. Bang! Right in the head. Holy haymakers, JR. This is great. Ooh! Look at that. And our unofficial stats from the first round.
So there we go. What are you thinking of this so far, JR? I mean, Tony, you know what I'm saying?
Jesus. I like seeing the big German's head get rocked.
Oh my God. Savio was a badass, dude. The thing is, like, this made no stars and just created a bunch of injuries.
Right. That's it. Was like,
but you would think Savio Vega, I mean, whooping this dude's ass, you'd be like, oh shit, fire, look at this.
mm-hmm.
But Savio headlined a pay-per-view in February. Part of a team, but whatever. Oh man, he's wearing his ass out.
There's a takedown.
Yeah. And most punches.
Yeah. Way most punches. Brakkus can barely get to his feet here. So this was it for Brakkus. We never saw him again on Raw.
I mean, oh man. Oh man. I feel bad for him.
I do too. Bodybuilder, man. What does he know about physicality? Nothing.
Well, I mean, shit, Savio Vega's been spending his whole life taking flatbacks, but now they're out there trying to throw haymakers and just find the damn corners. I feel bad for him.
I met Savio when I did some work with MLW, and he was
tremendous.
Yeah.
Anyway, Occam Albright.
Oh
no, Occam Albrecht. Sorry, that's Brakkus' real name. And he gets signed in September of '96, and then in late '97 they send him out to do some of all this nonsense. And he his last match, I think, on TV is 3 weeks after this, and then he's done.
Jesus.
In fairness though, it's not like Savio had a huge WWE run after this either.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get to stick around a little bit, but I think he winds up leaving like the following year.
Mm-hmm. Stop the match, old man. What the
I know.
fuck?
What the hell, dude? The dude's in bad shape here.
Standing 8 count by Brakkus, who no doubt has suffered a broken nose at the hands of Savio Vega. And save a miracle here. Savio is going to win this Brawl for All contest. You got to land the big one right now, Occam. And back into the ropes they go, and the bell sounds. That's the end of the 3 rounds.
Savio Vega.
Oh, look at Brakkus.
I love they didn't even pretend to go to the scorecards. Hey, everybody, here's your winner. Just immediately.
Vince probably told the referee, "Don't you dare stop the match unless he's knocked out."
Yeah.
Brutal, man.
It's a tough deal.
Yeah, it is. Oh, little shadow boxing here. That's Shamrock?
Yeah.
I only met him once, and I could tell from that hairline on the shadow boxing it was him. Also, I knew he was coming up next.
Oh, yeah, so that helps a little bit. Huh?
Yeah. Taste the rainbow of colors. Skittles. Here's another badass, buddy.
Dude, the biggest, the baddest.
Jesus, look at this.
I don't know if you saw, but a week or so ago, there was this image floating around social media, and it had like 9 badass wrestlers on it. And they were all numbered like 1 through 9. And it said, okay, you're about to be in a brawl. Shit's about to go down. You can only pick 2 guys on your side. Who do you pick? Mm-hmm. And Shamrock was one of the folks that a lot of people picked. Haku was a guy a lot of people picked.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would have went Bobby Lashley, Ken Shamrock. A badass amateur wrestler who can take your ass down, and Ken Shamrock, who clearly, oh my God, and here comes the human fast forward button himself.
Man, we can't escape this guy. You even notice that?
Well, here's the deal. If there's one thing I know, if you're looking for crappy wrestling, Jeff Jarrett can't be far behind.
Yeah, but hang on a second. You and I watched WCW. He's there. We watched this. He's there. We watched TNA. He's there.
Yeah.
We can't get rid of him.
He's like the herpes of wrestling. You think you're rid of him, and then all of a sudden you have a damn flare up. And you start strutting around like an asshole. Woo woo.
I didn't even know Colonel Robert Parker had worked for them.
Yep.
Ah, God.
Have long dong. We'll travel.
Yeah. Look at Shamrock. Shamrock, think right now. This was a shoot. That motherfucker. He'd be dead. The referee be dead. And that fucking Carney looking like a colonel be dead.
It is sort of weird when you think about, you've got the realistic, quote unquote pit fighter, the MMA, the cage fighter, the mixed martial artist. I mean, we're going super realistic with his look and presentation and background. And he's fighting a guy who looks like a heel from a Patrick Swayze movie in 1985.
I would be, as a wrestler, I would be petrified to work with someone like Shamrock.
No, should be.
Yeah. I mean, he probably worked. I mean, he probably tried to throw a few working punches, but it would not have been as easy for him to throw some working punches. Because it just wouldn't have been. I mean, we had Tank Abbott, which nowhere near what Ken Shamrock is. I get that, but still.
No, but I think Ken Shamrock is a little more stable than. I mean, Tank Abbott. I don't know.
But I get it. But still, look at this. Fuck. Hey, notice the guy in the front had the Nitro suck signs.
Yeah.
Isn't it something? And I say that even bringing it up today, how fans take sides.
Well, yeah.
Well, but I get it. But where are the fans that love them both, that want to see both succeed? Where are those people? Are they there?
Yeah, but they're, I mean, how much do you want Florida, the University of Florida, to succeed?
Oh, no, I want them to lose every game for the rest of eternity.
But hang on now. I mean, where are the fans who want both Georgia and Florida to do well?
Oh, listen, you can't compare Georgia and Florida to the WWE and AEW. You can't.
Why not?
They're two different leagues.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's two different teams, Florida and Georgia, and they play against each other sometimes, just like y'all.
Yeah, but AEW doesn't play against WWE
every Wednesday.
That's not what I'm not saying that.
So you're saying just compare us to NXT? No,
I'm saying you don't see Cody go in the ring against like.
Wait. Are you telling me that when Cody first debuted in AEW on a wrestling show, he didn't walk out with a sledgehammer and hit an Iron Throne?
Okay.
That didn't happen?
I get it. I get it.
Did I just imagine that?
No, I get it. So what you're saying is the leagues are competing against each other, and
some people were raised Alabama fans, right? So like I didn't have a choice in the matter.
Really?
My dad was an Alabama fan. All my uncles were Alabama fans. My grandfather, both my grandfathers were Alabama fans. Like in Alabama, when you meet somebody, it's what's your name? Where are you from? Who do you pull for? And you're allowed Alabama or Auburn as answers. Or if you're weird, you can say Tennessee. Now, if you're weird, nobody's going to talk to you, but you have to say Alabama or Auburn. So that was just beat into me as a kid. So I had to pick, and I picked what everybody in my family was picking. I picked Alabama. I'm saying that to say there are a lot of people who are raised on WWE and think anybody who thinks that they can compete with their favorite is just foolish because it's more established. It's been here all this time. It has this rich history. I grew up on it, blah, blah, blah. And those are the people who are AEW haters.
Got it.
And then you've got super AEW fans who are similar to, like when Missouri came into the SEC.
Right.
They're just happy to be here.
Right.
And they have a much healthier attitude and approach towards all of it. That's Big Viscera, baby, the former Mabel, and
that's a 500-pound man. No, oh, Shamrock. It's King Mabel, JR. King Mabel. He was a King of the Ring winner as well, and he just broke up Shamrock's insides. Wow.
I need you to start saying he broke up his insides because JR in 2020 will roast your ass for saying some shit like that. And you can say, picked it up watching you call Raw in 98 when Viscera splashed Shamrock. And when you're so specific, he'll just turn around and shake his head. It's tremendous.
I thought it was perfect there. You said, that's Viscera, that's Mabel, and that's, and you brought up JR, and he said, a 500-pound man. It was like you guys were doing commentary together. The timing was perfect on that.
By the way, we should give everybody a peek behind the curtain. I believe it was JR recently posted a picture of himself with you, Excalibur, and Justin Roberts all posed behind the desk. It's clearly like a walkthrough. Everybody's in t-shirts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had Dave Silva add a little thought bubble over JR's head that said, "These fucking marks."
Wow.
Shamrock is just, he snapped again. He's so frustrated. Somebody got the better of him. The referees had to get out of Dodge and he's covering up. But folks, when we come back, we've got a slobber knocker for you. And we're back. What do you think Ken Shamrock's saying right here?
Bad breath now. Oh, yeah. I just about said it all. Thank you, Ken.
I think legitimately he said, Viscera, if you're Mabel, if you're really here, you'll face me tonight. Really here? He just fucking fell on you. You want to see mismanagement. You want to see drop balls. Here comes the biggest one of all in the WWF, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
Dude, he was such a fucking monster for you guys. When you think about it, and we've been watching some of his great stuff against Flair and Cactus Jack and Sting, and he comes over here and, dude, in short order, it sucks.
Hindsight being 2020, I think the story goes, and I think you've told this story, is that Shawn Michaels didn't want to work with him.
Yeah, they didn't gel well. Man, how about Bradshaw looking jacked up here? This is Blackjack Bradshaw.
Yep. Who was a badass, legitimate.
I like the Blackjack, like the new Blackjack gimmick of him and Barry Windham.
Yeah.
Like they just look, I mean, the look is killer and it's two big ass monsters. And you could tell they're trying to do something here with JBL and he was just, the audience was not ready for him. This was not the right look or gimmick. Vince had to love it. You know, John's a very tall guy. He's probably 6'7" and meaty as fuck. So that's everything that Vince likes, right? Man, what a big boot to the face. Anyway, he would eventually, as we know, strike gold, but it would take years for him to have a big singles run as JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, but not too terribly long after this, he's going to become an acolyte with Ron Simmons and they're going to have a lot of fun as the APA. Man, that was a clothesline and a half. Did you see that?
Oh yeah. That's basically, you're talking about two guys who are not afraid of each other.
No, these are guys who are swinging for real.
Right. And they're just saying, okay, let's, God damn.
Fuck, man.
Those fucking forearms by Vader. See.
Yeah. Bradshaw threw a couple real ones there. Like,
yeah,
hey, fucker.
well, we're into a shoot here. A work shoot.
My God. How great is this shit, dude? Oh,
anyway. So what I was saying is, and maybe I'm wrong and I don't know because I wasn't there, but if Shawn Michaels had a problem working with Vader, it would probably have been a better way to handle it instead of just not using Vader anymore or pushing Vader down. Setting Leon down, say, Leon, and JR probably knows the answer to this. Did they set Leon down and say, Leon, he doesn't want to work with you because he's afraid of you. So we need to do something here.
No,
they didn't do that. See, it's wrong. See, unfortunately, through wrestling, dishonesty and avoidance has been some of the trademarks of behind the scenes, and it shouldn't be.
Right.
But there you go.
You think Vince just likes to rule with fear?
Yeah, with chaos. Well, not chaos. That was Jim Herd with chaos. Yeah, with fear. I think that's.
He likes for everybody to just be a little uncertain. Maybe.
And a little uncertain about their position. Right. Tombstone pile driver, somewhat. It's a big man to get up there and do that with. Well.
By the way, the undercard for this show we're watching had a dark match with Reckless Youth picking up a win over Steve Corino and Steven Regal picking up a win over Tiger Ali Singh. We also had Steve Blackman taking on Lance Diamond, Darren Drozdov working with Bob Holly. Some interesting stuff.
Yeah. Interesting. Couple of things. Interesting that Reckless Youth will be taking on Reckless Old Man. That's number one. And number two, we've had 2 matches in a row that have had run-in finishes.
It's Vince Russo era, baby. How about that? Paul Ellering coming to the ring on a very colorful motorcycle. And of course, in tow with him, the Disciples of Apocalypse, the DOA.
Wow.
How about those Harris twins?
Wow. Oh, and this is the New Age without Hawk, Legion of Doom, right?
No, that's Hawk getting beat up in the corner.
Oh, that's Hawk? Okay, I thought that's when Hawk had been replaced.
How about that look? Here come the Headbangers. That's Chaz on the left.
Was it supposed to be blood?
I'm a big fan of both of these guys individually. The guy on the right, it was discussed once upon a time they were going to bring back Doink the Clown, like a new version. And perhaps they were going to call it like DTK or something like that, but perhaps Brother Love would be involved in managing. And that didn't happen, of course.
I could see Doink being like, and I guess he was in many ways, a New Age Doink being like the creepy, scary.
That was the original plan. I mean, that's what they were doing. So Chaz, the guy that, a guy I refer to as Chaz, that's his nickname. His real name's Charles Warrington, but his gimmick name here is Mosh. And the taller fellow that I was saying, hey, he was going to be maybe the new Doink. That's Glenn Ruth. He's playing Thrasher here.
Should have been Pitt. Got it. Mosh. Never mind. They're doing some pretty good bumps for big guys.
Very, very capable in-ring guys.
Man, whoa.
I don't think in a real fight anybody would want to fuck with the Harris boys.
No, I agree with that.
What do you think he's saying?
I used to be something. I used to be big time. I used to be the real managers of the Legion of Doom, and I still am. Those two Mama Lukes cannot book their own hotel rooms. They can't book their own flights. They can't even pick up a taxi to go to the I have to pick up a taxi for them. Then they give me the receipts. Then we go to the IRS with it. That's what I do for a living. That's me. Damn it. And I used to be something. I used to be big. In Georgia Championship Wrestling one time, I was a bodybuilder turned big star.
Oh, God.
You ever hear of the last fight in Atlanta? Whatever it was. Double cage. That was me.
Double cage.
One cage with top on it. That was me. That was me. And look at me now. Sitting beside JR. Jerry the King Lawler.
I mean, he looks like a cartoon from the 1980s, does he not?
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Tony, this is where you entertain everybody for 39 seconds.
Hey, here, I got my finger up in there. Let me say this. I put my finger down in front of my face. These guys, did I ever tell you I was in the last battle of Atlanta? Huh? Ole Anderson. Ole Anderson really beat the shit out of me. Really beat the shit out. Because Ole didn't give a shit. He was a bad motherfucker. Now what is he? Enough. Oh, am I supposed to do commentary here with you? You two, I'm just supposed to sit here and talk and put my guys over. So maybe I'll do that. Is my 39 seconds up yet? Let me tell you about the Sad News Bears. A bunch of collective dumbasses. Yeah. A lot of them out there. And they're growing by leaps and bounds. You got Cassio Kid. You got the dumbest of all, Dave Hancock, who's a fucking idiot. You got Jay-Z Flair. Only good thing about him is his wife. She's he's full of shit. Then you got, who else you got in the Sad News Bears? You got Matt Coon. He's not a sad news bear. He's a dead news bear because he acts like he's dead on a couch. Anyway, is this match over yet? Oh, shit. Pretty good move. Conrad, did you go take a shit or something? Must have. The disciples of the apocalypse. I got to say that Paul Ellering is more noticeable, more active, more animated than I've ever seen him. Oh, God, put me over. I'm going to be one of the greats, and here I am in the backstage area just thinking about my... Okay. It's time for the Slam of the Week. Brought to you by Skittles. The Slam of the Week comes from last week. It's the Stone Cold Stunner. The Stone Cold Stunner. And the new world champion. And he put a Stone Cold Stunner, yes, on the Undertaker. Again. You thought you were going to see him this week? Ha! We fucked you like Skittles. Oh my God, Terry Funk. Did you go take a shit in the middle of the show?
Yeah.
God almighty.
What was the situation?
Well, okay. Take a shit before we start.
Here's the thing, Tony. Wasn't up to me.
I get it.
What do you want me to do?
D'Lo Brown.
Can you believe this is a real thing that's about to happen right now?
Yeah. After what I've seen already in this show.
Terry Funk and D'Lo Brown is not something I would have predicted.
Did you ever, do you know the Godfather?
Yeah.
Yeah. He seems like a cool motherfucker, buddy.
He is. He's Dawkins' best friend.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Bear don't know that, but Dawkins will probably very easily refer to him as my best friend. So the chest protector became a gimmick 8 days prior. And now it's going to be D'Lo's gimmick from here on out, as you saw at the King of the Ring.
Okay. As I saw at the King of the Ring.
How timeless is Terry Funk?
He can do anything, man. Any version of Terry Funk works.
Every version of Terry Funk works.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. His old single leg pickup, takedown.
I love D'Lo. He's so underrated.
You can tell he's very athletic, man.
I mean, he's like 285 or something.
Yeah. And jacked. What did come over here? He's calling him back over, trying to call spots. Bring you back over. Stop posing. Come on, buddy. So Terry just goes to him from the corner.
He's trying to fight up, fight from underneath. Or as you like to say, I like to work from underneath when you're with the ladies.
Boy. So what's the chest protector? How did that,
so you just saw him when they explained it when he was getting in the ring.
Okay.
8 days prior, he did a run in at King of the Ring, pulled a baseball jersey off, and underneath he had on like a catcher's chest protector, like a baseball catcher's chest protector.
Yeah.
And he did a frog splash off the top rope onto somebody with the chest protector, and it was devastating. So he had this chest protector made, and it's probably a way just to help, sort of improve his overall presentation, his look, because he's not exactly an Adonis.
Right.
So this way, maybe you won't see that he's a little softer up front than he'd like to be. And he replaces it with something that he's sort of hidden the negative, accentuated the positive.
Not bad. Not a bad move.
No.
Probably not the easiest thing to work in, but not a bad move.
Well, it's better than, Vince not liking your look and then you not getting to work.
Exactly.
Here we go. Check him out.
What is he doing? Is he crazy? Acai moonsault? No! Could no that way! Yes! No! Oh, Fox leg!
Terry Funk on a tape draw from State College, Pennsylvania, in a middle of the card match against D'Lo Brown, did an acai moonsault to the floor onto a guardrail in 1998. Here it is again.
Oh. And he had knees that were shot by then anyway, and he just ripped them on top of the guardrail.
How ridiculously awesome.
Look at this.
Here we go. Another one.
What's he going to do now? He's got D'Lo on D'Lo's stomach and a moonsault to the lower back. There's no protection there. Funk is crazy.
Funk is crazy is right.
Cornette had a story once where they were in Smoky Mountain, and instead of Terry climbing the ropes the normal way, he climbs it like he's about to do a moonsault. So he's got his back to the ring, and he says, "Oh, look, here comes Godfather." Wham! Nails Terry Funk with the chains. Anyway. Oh, here comes the big splash.
Hey, Funk! D'Lo kick. He can't reach him with this. Oh, whoa!
Hey, that was a long ass way for a big boy to jump, and he nailed it, didn't he?
Sure was, buddy. Big old frog splash from way on out.
Anyway, famously, as Terry Funk is climbing the top rope where it looks like he's got his back to the ring, Corny's on the outside. He runs around and supposedly says, Terry, what are you doing? And supposedly he looked down at Corny and says, I don't know. And fucking pulled out a moonsault. But the idea that there's this old man on the top rope and you're nervous for him, like, this guy's old enough to be my dad. I better check on him. Hey, what are you doing? I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Not one, but two big choke slams from the Undertaker here on the Nation. Godfather up first, D'Lo second.
Oh, Terry.
Of course, Terry thinks,
Terry.
oh, he's here to save me. I don't know if this is going to go his way.
No, it's not. Everybody knew this. Thank you. I want to thank you for saving me. You're a good old big old guy. I thought you were dead. Oh.
Can you imagine the mutual respect right there?
Yeah. Look how he put him down.
Yep.
Took care of him that time.
It's important to remember he's been in the company less than 8 years at this point, Undertaker, but he's already the locker room leader.
Yeah. You can become the locker room leader if you're a straight up good guy, and it wouldn't take long.
Because there's a bunch of shitty people in it.
Mm-hmm. At least back then it was.
How many
SCU? Did you see that sign?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but it said, Kazarian, Daniels, Scorpio on it.
Scorpio Sky!
How about this look? See, most guys go khaki pants, blue blazer. He goes khaki blazer, blue pants.
I like it.
By the way, this is before the company has gone public. This is before he's worth $1 billion. He's still rolling, but this is before he's made the major bank.
When was the Mr. McMahon era?
This is it, Bubba.
Oh, is this the beginning of it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
so he's a baby face here.
It's not really the beginning. No. He's a super heel.
Well,
he's been at odds with Austin since April when they finally ended your 83-week streak. Let's track this for a minute.
And awaiting, and certainly the moment that every WWF superstar who can hear my voice is certainly waiting for.
Right.
Because right here in this ring, in just a moment, we will name the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
Could be me, JR.
With that in mind, before we name the #1 contender, I would like to invite a number of individuals to step forward in this very ring. Firstly, I would like to introduce Mankind.
Well, it's Mankind.
So here comes Mankind.
Uh-huh.
What do you think? You know, we've talked about Cactus Jack, and we've certainly talked about Mick Foley. You've got to see a little bit of Dude Love. You've got to see a little bit of Mankind. You got to see a little bit of just him as Mick Foley. And of course you grew up on Cactus Jack. Walk me through, of all those characters, do you have a favorite persona for Mick?
Well, obviously from my old school days, I would say Cactus Jack. However, with the mask and the tie, the look that we're seeing walking out right now, the very, I don't know, a creepy look, maybe scary look. I like this. I really do.
I think Mankind is criminally underrated. I mean, I know that people love Cactus Jack and Man Count Me In.
Right.
But the idea that he had one set of entrance music for entrances and then another for exits. And, you know, he would rock back and forth and talk in those high pitched squeals and hold the rats and pull his own hair out and punch his own face. I mean, he is a just next level performer. And I'm glad that in recent years, he started to make a lot of people's lists. I mean, I'll admit it took a while for me to realize this, but I mean, I think he's got to be in my top 10. I mean, you know, Mount Rushmore gets crowded, especially when you talk about WWE, but if you talk about just overall performers, I think he's in that Bobby Heenan class where no matter where you put Bobby Heenan, he was going to do well for you.
Yeah.
You needed him to be a chicken shit manager. You needed him to be the manager that wrestled. I didn't see a bunch of Bobby's in ring work, but when he would have those matches with the Ultimate Warrior, dude, he's out there in a weasel suit making chicken salad as best as he can. And then freaking hilarious on commentary. It just feels like he's one of the all-time greats. And I've started to realize that a little bit about all the great stuff that Mankind did, because we saw him as a heel, as Cactus Jack, and as a heel as Mankind, and then this lovable, affable character. And he's just super talented, man. He pulled it all off. Promo, in-ring, the whole thing.
Yeah. And he's also a very, very intelligent guy that's well known and well documented, and also pretty good guy behind the scenes that everybody liked. So a lot to be said for his legacy. JR and I talked about that recently. And it was, as a matter of fact, it's on ad-free shows. His legacy is pretty much intact. If in fact you are concerned about things like that.
It's, I mean, you look at the difference in the presentations, you know, this is worth discussing. I feel like in this era, WCW has a much more sports centric feel to the presentation. You know, you had all the cruiserweights and things like that and the different weight classes, but you also had a more standard entrance, if you will. Everybody comes through and gets, you know, maybe a little bit of pyro here and there, but it doesn't feel like there's this big, hey, let's take all the lights down and make them blue and let's pump the smoke out. And then, I don't know, maybe Goldberg is part of that too. It just had a very sports feel to it. This is much more character driven. Just look in the ring right now. The Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind. And you compare that to like the top of the card for WCW, and it's Goldberg, Hogan, Kevin Nash, Sting, Lex Luger.
Right.
It just feels more, I don't know, realistic. Whereas this is more comic book, maybe a little bit. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. It makes plenty of sense. And I'll take it a step further. When Vince Russo came to our side, he tried to make us what this was. And instead of becoming our own, having our own identity, which is what you just been talking about.
Yeah.
We were seen as a cheap knockoff of them.
You know, I hate to reference it, but as I know you have a huge personal issue with Eric Bischoff, but he says,
whoa, stop it.
What?
I don't have a huge personal issue with Eric, but look, you're not only a lie, you a lie motherfucker, but go ahead.
Before we got on the air, you cut a 38-minute promo on Eric Bischoff.
No, I did not. See, you a lie, comma, motherfucker.
Anyway, he always says in wrestling, you've got to decide, not just in wrestling, but in business. If you're not the leader to the market. So if someone was trying to compete with WWF here, they would have to be more than, less than, or different than. The idea being, can you do the storytelling and character development better than WWE? And the answer is probably not. So should you try to be a less than version? And I think WCW did try that in the era where you guys were doing mini movies with little people blowing up boats and shit like that. Or do you want to be different than? And I think that's what the NWO was. Like, you look at WCW sort of before and after the NWO, and you had lots of silliness. You know, who's the mysterious benefactor? And, oh, did DDP hawk his jewelry? Did someone win the lottery? Oh, look, here comes Glacier right out of a video game. And then that whole, I am Mr. Wonderful, and the Dungeon of Doom. It's not hot. You know, all of this cartoonish, we pushed the giant off the top of the building, but don't worry, he came back to life and won the world title. Anyway, now you've got the NWO, and it just feels like a major paradigm shift for WCW. And no longer will we be less than, we'll be different than. And it worked.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree. So this is the reason I ask about the Mr. McMahon character, and you said this was the beginning of it.
Well, here's the thing. Most people would say the beginning of it happened at the Montreal Screwjob in November of 97.
Sure.
Because a week or two later is when he would have the sit down Brett screwed Brett deal. And then of course, as we march towards WrestleMania, he starts to have some issues with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it comes to a head the night after Stone Cold beats Shawn Michaels to become the world champion, because he wants to introduce the new world title and, introduce the new corporate champion, because he wants, hey, if you're going to represent our company, you got to wear suits, you got to wear ties. You know, this is what it means to be the world champ. So that started their sort of entanglement in a big way in late March, early April. And when they actually announced they were going to do Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, who would have one hand tied behind his back as the main event, it became the first time in 84 weeks that you guys lost to Monday Night Raw. So you had 83 consecutive victories, and then head to head with Stone Cold and Vince in a match would be the thing that beat you. So since April, it's been back and forth, but it was a dominating win the night after. And here comes Hawk, ready for Brawl for All. And this is going to be sad, my friends. Anyway, the night after King of the Ring. So the week prior to this, as we're watching this happen, it actually would happen the night before. This is in the era where they would do live on Monday and then record the next Monday on Tuesday. And here's the guy who's going to wind up replacing Hawk, Darren Drozdov. And over the years, you know, the guys have always said, well, specifically Bruce, no, it was all just names pulled out of a hat. It was done at random. And of course, Drozdov has always said bullshit. You know, in storyline, they wanted these guys to have an issue because one was going to replace the other in the Legion of Doom. So that's the thinking. Can you believe Hawk is about to do this? Would you have ever imagined once upon a time that Hawk would have done this?
No.
Like, you know, he had this perception that he was the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the yard. Why would you ever want to show what you had, good or bad, on a major stage? Because there's no way it could live up to your reputation.
Right. Now, Drozdov, he's in a wheelchair now, right?
Unfortunately, yeah, he was paralyzed in a move with D'Lo Brown.
Oh, so it happened in the ring.
Yes, on a SmackDown taping, they were doing like a running power bomb. And of course, you know, D'Lo wore those tights and chest protector gimmicks. I don't think he had the chest protector on at the time, but Droz had on like one of those like party raver shirts. I think it was like a slippery, and maybe he had body oil on too. Either way though, he slipped, and instead of falling on his back, he fell directly on his neck, and it was a bad scene right away. And, his career obviously was cut way too short.
Yeah. And his life obviously changed.
But you know what? He seems to still have a great attitude about it. Everybody got to catch up with him a little bit when they talked about Brawl for All this year on, Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
And you know, man, I tell you, is there anything more motivational than seeing somebody who's had a major life change as far as, you know, their physical being, but still be upbeat and positive? That's tremendous.
Yeah. No, you're right. You are exactly right, buddy.
We should mention this is, the era where they're going to start mocking Hawk's alcohol problems, which was also covered in Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know, man. I really wish we didn't have to see Hawk in here doing this.
Yeah.
This is probably what he felt like he needed to do, though. I mean, he doesn't look the same at all.
No.
Physically. And they just repackaged them. We should mention that a couple months prior at WrestleMania 14, they came out with Sunny. They're calling themselves LOD 2000. They had different like headgear and all their spikes and stuff. Everything was different, but they were trying helmets in this era. And they put Sunny scantily clad thinking, shit, she's ratings. We'll just do this. And it's just not the same. I mean, you look back at old footage of Hawk and then you see him here. It wasn't even that many years prior to this. It just feels like there was a major change in his life. And we know, you know, that he was struggling with substances in this era. And sadly, he would die just 1 year later. I mean, you don't think about that, but that dude was gone. I said 1 year later. He was gone from the company 1 year later, but he's gone in like 5 years. He died in 2003.
Wow. Yeah, this is, good God.
I mean, you know, the thing is, like, Droz is still trying to make his name. And I'm not saying that anybody should have done this. We've covered Brawl for All enough, and everybody knows this was a fucking huge mistake. Like, there was no money drawn in this. But Droz probably feels like, man, I just got to fucking earn a spot. You know, I got to find a way to make a name here and get over. But like, what's the upside for Hawk? If he loses, he got beat up by a guy nobody had ever heard of. But if he wins, it's like, well, yeah, of course you're fucking Road Warrior Hawk. So you get no credit for beating the guy. It can only hurt you. Whereas if you're Droz, man, I beat up one of the Road Warriors. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm. You see what happened? What happened there? He lost his mouth guard.
Droz spit his out intentionally.
Yeah. I think he looked at Droz, said, I dropped my mouth guard, spit yours out. So Droz did, I think.
Well, cause I mean, here's the deal. Hawk needs air.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
These guys are buddies. Ross and Hawk.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is a draw.
Oh, we got a draw here. A draw? It's like kissing your sister, folks. When we come back.
Can you imagine how much JR was hating this?
Like kissing your sister.
Hey, how about this? Mark Mero, the former Johnny B. Bad. Look at this presentation.
I'm looking at it.
Dude, it's just hard to imagine that's the same guy as Johnny B. Bad.
Isn't it?
But this is like the real him. Like the Golden Gloves badass who pulled Sable in real life. Man, how about swinging the heavy leather here, Steve Blackman? I love this presentation of Mark Mero. Because he just looks hateable. He looks like a heel. By the way, Miss Jackie is an African-American big booty Judy. Her facial expressions, I'm telling you, her mannerisms, it's Judy.
We go track this?
If you want.
I'd love to.
Now listen up. I've been quiet long enough. Now it's time to talk.
You go, girl.
I take full responsibility for my man losing that fight last week.
Oh, yeah.
You see, everybody knows my man is the greatest boxer in the world. But unfortunately, the day before that fight was our 2-month anniversary.
Oh.
So let's say that me and my man went 12 rounds the night before until his tank was empty.
Woo, go, girl. That's 3 snaps, JR. Yeah, I got it.
You see, my man, before he met me, been deprived for a very long time.
Woo, testify. Deprived of what?
It seemed like this woman he had
You mean Sable?
wasn't able to fill his needs.
So he kicked her to the curb.
Sable wasn't able You know, she looked real good, but there was no motor under that hood.
Go, girl. Go, girl.
She couldn't shift the gear when Mark was ready to steer.
Why did you want me to track that?
Because one of my favorite lines. She looks real good, but there's no motor under that hood.
I'm a big fan of, he lost the fight because he was all tuckered out from fucking me. Like, what the? That should be your new excuse. I really need you to deadpan. Like if, I don't know what your setup looks like, but let's pretend for a minute that Cody is in your ear trying to feed you lines. Maybe he's the new Vince. He's in gorilla, or he's in the Dusty position.
Okay.
And he's trying to produce you with some lines. And then y'all go to commercial and he says, T, I'm going to need you to pick the energy up, buddy. And you just hit him with, I'm sorry, Mr. Nightmare. I was up all night fucking Lois last night. I'm pretty tuckered out. And cause if it works, can you imagine? JR would be like, me too. I'm all tuckered out. I just can't believe this is real. Let's track some more.
Yeah, but the question is, how many times have you rented it out?
Well, whoa! By the hour, by the month, or call Jerry Springer. Timeshare, what is this? Shake your hand.
Look, skank!
Oh! This is getting great. Skank!
I tell you what. Why don't you prove it?
Huh?
Show it off in a bikini contest.
A what?
This is when wrestling was wrestling.
Yeah. Take it off right
Jackie, don't just blow it.
Huh?
Show it.
What? Let's do it. Let's see it.
Because my bikini will be fully loaded and ready to drop the bomb on you.
Huh? Fully loaded indeed.
Well, that happened. And here's the deal. It's going to lead to one of the most memorable moments of my wrestling childhood.
Really? The bikini match?
Well, she took her top off to reveal that she had, handprints as a top instead of a real bikini top.
Oh, who did? Jackie or
Sable?
Sable did. Okay.
Yeah. Jackie had on dental floss.
Let's see it. Let's track it right now. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sure that'll be on a bonus episode. Oh, by the way, speaking of bonus episodes, have you heard the feedback about, me playing shoot interview clips for Eric Bischoff? We called it Eric Fires Back over at adfreeshows.com. And what I did is I went and picked like a bunch of people who had just shit all over Eric in shoot interviews. And I just play him clips and let him respond. And he started the thing by saying, listen, I want you guys to have fun with this, but I'm just not going to be negative. You know, I just don't have room for that. By the way, here's Dustin Runnels. He's not Gold Dust. He's been born again. He's a born again Christian here. And he's trying to clear and eradicate the WWF of all of these people like Val Venis, this porn star. So Dustin Runnels is going to try to be the light to get rid of these type characters.
So Eric says he's not going to be negative.
And one guy shits on him and he says, well, you know, I respectfully disagree. The next guy shits on him. He's like, okay, wait just a fucking minute.
I'm surprised it took two.
And then by the end, he starts yelling, that guy's a houseplant. He never did shit anywhere. He never drew a dime. He never mattered. He never wrote anything. He was a mercy hire. It was a friend of a friend. He's mentally ill and I feel bad. And it was just like, this is great audio. So check it out over at adfreeshows.com. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have to look far and wide, but I'm going to find people. Actually, I won't have to look far. I'm just going to go to the Bobby Heenan shoot interview and find clips of him shitting all over you and just play it and get you riled up.
No, don't want to hear
it. What's funny though, is somebody was saying, oh man, you should do this with all your co-hosts. And I'm thinking, well, goddamn, who's ever said anything bad about Tony? And as soon as I said it out loud, I was like, oh yeah, Bobby Heenan. We'll just get the Bobby Heenan shoots and then we're good. The Heenan shoots. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, fuck him.
You gonna tell everybody your favorite Bobby Heenan joke?
Nope.
I love you.
You try about every quarter, don't you?
Yeah, once a month. I mean, here's the deal. I can get you to tell it when there's no microphones around.
Of course.
If there's a microphone, nope. I don't even know what you're talking about. Never heard of it. Let's move along.
Oh God.
You okay?
Yeah. I was just thinking about how much fun I have with Dustin backstage now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Really, really, really a valuable member of AEW.
Well, that's no surprise. Dude's did it all, you know?
Yeah. No, you know, he works for the talent. As far as coaching, he really works closely with the women's division, helping, you know, girls with their work, and just a likable guy who has plenty of knowledge, and I'm glad he's still involved. Miss his dad tremendously.
The best,
glad,
man.
Yeah. Glad he's involved. Glad his sons are doing what they're doing. So give me a Val Venis story. I know he was supposed to be the porn star turned wrestler.
Yeah.
What's he doing now? What's going on with him?
Stirring people up and pissing people off online. He was critical of Nyla Rose earlier this year, and it got the boo birds out on him in a major way. I mean, just not evolved or polite or open-minded thinking at all, and just I don't know, sort of old-fashioned, which is kind of ironic since he's a big hemp guy and played a pro wrestling porn star.
Yeah, I get it. Unfortunate.
You know, I'm sure on some level,
some
people would say, oh, well, he's just trying to stir up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, how about go about it a different way?
How about just keep your opinions to yourself?
Well, just don't be a dick to people.
Well, right. Exactly. I went on that rant a couple of weeks ago.
I mean,
be nice to people.
Just don't be, it's just so easy to not be a dick.
Yeah, it is. It's so easy not to be a dick. Unless you're a dick, and then it's not.
Right.
It's your second nature. Or first nature, whatever it is.
First nature.
Yeah, Dustin can still work here, man.
You know what's crazy is I think he's gotten better as time's
gone
on. Although I hope you gave him shit a couple of weeks back when he put an inkjet printer logo on his back.
Oh yeah.
And that shit was flopping around during the match. I was fucking dying laughing.
Right.
Cause here's the thing. That's normally not his deal. He's like got such an investment in all of his gear and presentation that I wanted to say, oh, it's just a wardrobe malfunction. But I saw that shit flopping around. I was like, if I had a podcast with him, we'd have t-shirts for that shit already.
What the fuck am I looking at now?
Well, this is Kai and Tai. That's, men's Tao on top. That's an underage girl who shouldn't be here. That's, Mr. Yamaguchi-san. And they are concerned that he's been trying to have sex with his big PP with Mr. Yamaguchi-san's wife. So they're here to cut his PP off. And this is, Kai and Tai, the group. And one of these guys is, Dick to Go. Let's track it.
Yes! You're just a half-man. Yamaguchi-san is.
Let me half the man Yamaguchi-san
okay. No more hello, babies. Ladies. No. I'm gonna get you. Okay.
This is their, racist Asian character like your Sonny Ono in WCW, I guess.
Jesus.
Yeah. The gimmick is though, they're going to, chain him up in the back and take out a samurai sword and try to cut his ding dong off. But the power will go out before they can actually clip the wiener.
They're going to try it tonight.
Well, stay tuned.
And she's an underage girl.
They wouldn't know that until later. There would be a little bit of a controversy in the newsletters that
I bet
probably shouldn't have been here. But
Generation X coming up, right?
Yes. And this is the most controversial thing on the show. Let's track it.
X here. Must be the nation's coming out. No. Oh my gosh, JR, look at this. I am not believing this.
So it's the Nation of Domination parody pulled off by DX, and unbelievably, and man, this doesn't age well. We got guys in blackface here. And, yeah, that's Jason Sensation on the left, who's spoofing Owen. Of course, China's in the back, and they've got Billy Gunn as Godfather. Very regrettably, Sean Waltman as Mark Henry. And he's spoken about that a lot, that he wishes he would have never done this. And he apologized. And, you know, he went and talked to Mark about it before he did it. Mark acted like he was fine. He realizes in hindsight, still shouldn't have done it. And of course, Road Dogg is D'Lo. And by process of elimination, that means that we're looking at Triple H, aka The Rock.
What'd that mean? Classic.
By the way, I should mention this is way after the NWO parody of the Four Horsemen.
You know, the Croc just came from the bathroom.
Croc.
And you should have smelled what The Rock was cooking.
Oh, look at Velo. Nation ain't gonna like this.
I ain't faking. You should have smelled what The Rock was baking.
The Rock was baking. Brother was baking.
Look at Velo. He's the man.
So see, he's shaking his head like D-Lo. Got the chest protector on. And that's the European title, but he put IC on it because The Rock is the Intercontinental Champion here. He's going to set up the People's Elbow.
Uh-oh, it's the People's Elbow, JR. Ah, the best damn elbow in the business, according to The Rock. Look at this.
As a matter of fact,
People's Elbow. And the people are...
And here's the deal. I'm not saying they do a bad job of it, but...
They do a great job of it, but the blackface just obviously doesn't play.
No. And it is... I mean, it is just stealing the WCW idea.
Right.
Of having the NWO parody the Four Horsemen, where they dress up like them and over-exaggerate the silliness. And the funny part is... Waltman was on both of those. He played Ric Flair and then Mark Henry. Listen to this Owen impression, by the way.
Supposed to be Owen Hart.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Listen to that.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yes.
Did you hear that
So
voice?
what? Nobody listens to me. Nobody gives a damn what I think. And what the hell am I doing wearing this ridiculous outfit? I look like a damn road sign. What the hell am I? A school crossing? You know, I tried to be a tough guy, but I just couldn't grow my damn beard in. And you know what? I am not a nugget. I'm a Blackheart, damn it! A winner, a soul survivor! Woo!
It's a pretty good little Owen impression.
Who was that? Who's this doing the impression?
Jason Sensation.
Okay.
I don't think he likes our show very much.
Oh, he doesn't?
I don't know.
He obviously, you wouldn't have said that.
He's like Tony Schiavone. He is a weird guy.
Is he?
Maybe not. Maybe. I don't really know him. But he has some, yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
but I think I'll eat some anyway.
So, Mark Henry, when he watched this, allegedly, according to the rumor and innuendo, found out that he had been ribbed from this very segment. Not just the way Sean is dressed, but he referenced that whatever The Rock was cooking smelled like shit, but I reckon I'll eat some anyway. Because apparently over the years, people had, or not over the years, recently, someone had taken issue with the way he handled something in catering or something. I'm not sure. But they shit in his food. One of the boys did.
God almighty.
And he ate it. And he found out that he ate shit when he watched this segment. That's the rumor. Lots of heat. And it is just fucking unbelievable when you think about it, that could even be a thing. Like where else, like in what other walk of life could something like that happen? You know what I mean? Like when you were doing baseball all those years, you ever hear about one of the players shitting in another player's food?
No.
That's a fucking weird thing to even say out loud, is it not?
Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
Why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you. I'm just thinking about that. Just bad stuff. Oh, now a little return from what we saw earlier, right?
Yep. Which is an Eric Bischoff special. He really likes this. How about he was wearing all black earlier? Now he's wearing his old King shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's not quite member of the ministry and doing the whole viscera gimmick just yet. But I guess this makes sense. Hey, if you've sold the world on the fact that this is the world's most dangerous man, let's see what he can do with one of the world's biggest men.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if you're like you.
Like me.
Yeah.
Well, why do you bring me into this shit?
Well, cause you're just being quiet.
Oh, okay. Well, let me do this. Let me change my posture.
Okay. Are you shitting?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't do that. I changed my posture and I sound much better and I feel much better. My back's been hurting.
Well,
I kind of didn't know what to say about the D-Generation X thing.
Oh, with the blackface stuff, you mean?
Yeah, I thought.
Well, how about let's say they shouldn't have done it, and obviously they've all apologized for it. I didn't play that this week to be controversial or.
No, it's just was part of the show, and I get that. And I thought that Triple H's impersonation was kind of entertaining. I thought the Owen Hart thing was very well done. Other than that, you know.
Yeah. Would you prefer the NWO parody of your pal Arn Anderson or this one?
Yeah, I don't like either one of them. I don't think I can say I like one better than the other.
I was hoping you would say you thought the Arn one was better, so I could tell him that you liked it.
See, I know you ask these what seem to be innocent questions.
Sure, but I'm really
and then you call shit down the line. Yeah, because if nothing else,
I'm a shit disturbing motherfucker.
You're a shit disturbing. That's first.
Yeah, number one.
You're a successful rich motherfucker, but that is trumped by being a shit disturbing motherfucker.
Why is that something everybody always talks about?
What?
Everyone always wants to make some sort of comment about a possession or socioeconomic status. I don't talk about anything like that. I don't get why you keep going to that as a crutch.
Well, I don't know why you always say sweet con money to me.
Well, because literally when I hung out with you very recently, you had cash falling out of your pockets.
Well, why do everybody talk about my socioeconomic status? See, motherfucker, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and you a lie, motherfucker.
Wait, how am I a lie? What did I lie about?
The Eric Bischoff thing.
Oh, that you talk shit about him?
Yeah, I don't talk shit about him. You know I like him.
Every
time
I
respect
every time we talk, you bury him.
No, I don't.
Tell the truth.
Wait a minute. Let me go with another shirt. You a lie, motherfucker. You a sad news bear, lie, motherfucker.
Okay. By the way, if you'd like to join our sad news bears, I'm sure by this point in the show, we have that shirt available over at lowestrules.com.
I want to get one.
You know, I was shocked, man. We've got the boxofgimmicks.com site rocking. So if you want merch that's like not a shirt or just something different, it's over at boxofgimmicks.com. And I saw somebody bought a WHW dog food bowl. And I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even know we had those.
And
my dogs would be eating out of podcast food bowls. I didn't know that my dogs are in there like assholes eating out of red and blue bowls right now. I need some podcast branded dog bowls. Said no one ever.
Apparently someone did.
I know. I was shocked. I literally turned my phone to Dave Silva and I said, did you see we had WHW dog food bowls? And he took my phone and looked at it and looked up at me and said, what the fuck? I said, we will goddamn sell anything, won't we? And he's like, just like Matt said, or like Chris said, we're wrestling whores. And I'm like, well, if it's got Schiavone's name on it. And here comes Vince, Paul Bearer in tow.
He wasn't as cartoony right here as he normally is.
Who? Oh, the Mr. McMahon thing?
Right.
Yeah. He's still, you got to appreciate, he hasn't won the world title yet. I mean, we're still less than a year into this deal. By the way, that's the jacket he wore. And I can't believe I remember this. I'm such a nerd. That's the jacket he wore, I believe, when he says, we're not going to continue to insult your intelligence to think that it's good guys versus bad guys. He did that in 97, like a whole State of the Union thing of, hey, we're going to start doing things a little differently around here.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
What is, wait a minute. Hey, what is it? Did you invite Steve Austin out here too? Bad question.
That's a very bad question. What's he doing coming out here?
I don't know.
How hot as a superstar was Stone Cold and Goldberg in this summer, man?
Mm.
I mean, rather, let me get it right.
Yeah.
But holy shit, you want to talk about megastars.
How big a business would Goldberg versus Stone Cold in this era been?
Gigantic.
Yeah.
Any
It would've been-
WrestleMania anywhere.
Yeah. It would have been one of those. It would have been one of those at the time, Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair.
Yes. Just tremendous. This shit takes me back, man. I love this stuff so much.
That's a great era.
Well, he flipped him off earlier.
Yeah, I like it.
So what we've got up next here is Undertaker and Mankind in our main event. We should mention this show had 9,573 fans. The gate was $161,361. Meltzer would say it was another good show, although there was too much Vince McMahon. He's a better performer than Eric Bischoff, but he's falling into the same trap of overdoing it on TV. For whatever reason, Edge versus Jesus Castillo was edited off the show, and instead they just showed Edge doing the 97 Sting gimmick of hanging around in the rafters in a trench coat.
Yeah. We've seen him a couple times. And so this is going to determine the number one contender to face the world champion, Steve Austin, Stone Cold, at the next pay-per-view.
Now, the next pay-per-view, they're in tag matches, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Undertaker
That's right.
is tagging with Stone Cold to take on Mankind and Kane.
Got it.
But this is an excuse to get both Austin and Vince on commentary. And we should also mention around this same time, Goldberg and Hulk Hogan are now in the ring against each other.
Mm. Well,
can you imagine?
Yeah. What was the ratings differential on that one?
You guys won big.
Well, I'm sure we won big. Yeah.
We should also mention some other critiques of this show. Meltzer says, boy, does Jacqueline lose whatever it is she has the minute she opens her mouth. The byplay between Sable and Jacqueline to build the bikini contest had good lines, but horrid delivery of those lines by Jacqueline.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear they are building for Mrs. Yamaguchi-san to leave the original Mr. Wally for Val Venis.
Wow.
The answer to the big question on television as to who played Owen Hart in that hilarious DX skit is a guy who does impersonations from Canada that the WWF has used in Boston before WrestleMania when they did the Tyson angle. That guy was incredible with that blonde wig and fake nose, making fun of Hart's character in his ring outfit, and he totally stole the skit. They had Triple H play The Rock as the Croc, and although every line was predictable, it was still funny. Road Dogg was hilarious as B-Lo, while Billy Gunn played Kama as the Godfather, and X-Pac played Mark Henry, calling him Mizark, which is Carney for Mark. When they talked about Henry being willing to eat shit, it was actually making fun of him because a few years back when he was first breaking in, one of the guys who resented him the most was because he was signed to a 10-year contract at $250,000 and had an attitude for not wanting to learn to wrestle. And they also found out that he was being paid by McMahon before the Olympics as well. Someone put a real life turd in his sandwich and he took a bite out of it. To explain why they did the skit with no run in, Jim Ross, as it was, going on saying that Rocky and Austin were both at home, although they did a run in, which was edited off TV at the end of the skit. Mabel was only brought in for one shot, just as another former king of the ring to put Shamrock over. No decision has been made as to whether or not to bring him back.
It's just,
and let's track it here.
That he has left here tonight.
From Death Valley, weighing in at 328 pounds.
Where's it, Jim? Is he under your hat?
Undertaker.
Almost enough room, but he ain't here.
Don't.
So this Mankind versus Undertaker, Tony.
He's learning something.
And
all right.
And nobody can find the Undertaker. And
Kane
is in the ring, standing behind Mankind. Austin and McMahon are on commentary.
So it's like a triple threat match.
No. It's 1-on-1.
But what's
Kane is the second for Mankind. They're teaming up against Austin and Undertaker.
I got the story.
Here, but Undertaker ain't afraid of no. Sit down.
Something's wrong.
Oh, like Vince is going to do something about this.
Well, Undertaker has yet to arrive here. We know he's in the arena. We've seen him a couple of times here tonight. We've heard from him.
If I was Vince McMahon, I'd get out of that damn ring. That's a dangerous area to be right now.
Yeah, but Stone Cold, you might be worried about where's your partner? The Undertaker's supposed to be your partner at Fully Loaded. Where is he? He may be gone. Or do you care?
I really don't care where he's at, but the fact that he's not here is starting to piss me off a little bit. I don't trust him, but I know he ain't afraid of no one in that ring. I'll give him that.
Well, I'll give you that too.
So as a reminder, we've seen the Undertaker chokeslam a bunch of dudes. We've seen him demand a title shot, and now he's no-show in the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the fact that the Undertaker is not here because he is chicken.
Oh.
Whoa!
Oh.
Wow.
Mr. McMahon has determined that Kane and Mankind will wrestle one-on-one to determine who will be the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
Vince never misses a beat. Look at him. It's supposed to be a triple threat match. Bam, all of a sudden now it's a single.
And it will be a no-holds-barred contest.
Wait a minute. Well, we got to have a match.
So it's no holds barred now, and he's going to make two teammates wrestle each other to see who gets the title shot.
Anywhere in the building.
Listen.
But as Austin just said, it was going to be a triple threat match. Didn't you hear him say that?
Well, I think he was hopeful.
Okay.
Undertaker's missing the boat here, isn't it?
No,
So
might be right.
listen,
Maybe
it's
it
just
is a
mass
triple threat.
confusion up against what we got.
Vince is telling Mankind to get the heck into the ring. He's not going. Mr. McMahon's got some egg on his face for the Undertaker no showing here.
I have given enough, and I'm not giving for you anymore, because I will not, under any circumstances, fight my friend Kane.
Whoa. What? First, we got no Undertaker. That's been a pretty traumatic 8 days for Mankind, to say the least, starting at the King of the Ring.
Get up and do something.
Look at Mr. McMahon.
Get up.
McMahon is telling Kane to attack Mankind.
I thought Mankind was supposed to be a sick, sadistic son.
What the hell is this? What do you mean? What do you mean?
He ain't doing nothing. You loved him last month when he came out and saved the day. Now he's sitting there on his ass, afraid to be the #1 contender.
Yeah, no one's afraid of you. If you're thinking they're afraid of you, pal,
I didn't say they was afraid of me. They're afraid to be the #1 contender, to step in that. Someone's got to step in the ring.
Start this match, I said. Get it on now.
Heavy on story, but you can tell why Goldberg Hogan was more exciting.
Sure.
No holds barred. Yeah, anything goes here, and the #1 contender for the WWF title is at stake.
Mankind ain't even gonna lift a finger. Get up, you gutless coward.
And Kane is gonna hit him. Kane, hit him. Oh, don't hit him. Hit him, Kane. Blast him. Blast him, Kane. Yeah. Blast him. Blast him.
Match is with him, not me.
What? Oh, my. Good God Almighty. Kane just hit Mankind right in the head with that chair.
Well, that's what he gets for not getting off his ass and getting in the ring and fighting.
This is what the WWF is all about. Yes. Kane and Mankind. Mankind refused to fight Kane. The Undertaker didn't have the guts to show up. Kane is going to be the #1 contender.
Well, there's your little Mankind, like you said, willing to risk it all. Hell, he just did. Didn't get off his ass and got knocked silly because of it.
Mankind's got to have a concussion after that shot to the head, and now it may be academic. Covering. What? What is he doing?
Yeah, that's it. Drag him around the ring.
Like a Mankind being dragged like a carcass.
And Kane now. Kane. Yeah.
What in the hell?
Now make the announcement.
Here is your winner, Kane.
What about it, Austin?
Right, Kane. Look. Oh, it's not Kane. It's the Undertaker. It's the Undertaker.
What do you think about that?
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking cool.
It's a heavy on story.
Yeah.
But a nice little finish. And you go off with a big cliffhanger. And what do you know? The Undertaker did get his title shot because he's the #1 contender. And now he's got a title shot, but they're tag partners at Fully Loaded. So we're off to the races, but there you go, man. You can put a feather in your cap now. You've seen the Raw that went head to head with the biggest Nitro ever. Hulk Hogan and Goldberg from the Georgia Dome. What'd you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle?
I was going to say thumbs in the middle until I saw that ending, but I like the ending. So I'm going to say thumbs up. I think that saved it.
I think it saved it too. You know, still the most memorable thing everybody talks about from that same show, the Nation parody. By the way, Nitro that night had Booker T and Dean Malenko for the TV title, Canyon and Raven working to a no contest, Putski picking up a win over Riggs, Jericho working with Ultimo Dragon for the Cruiserweight title, Chavo working with Johnny Swinger, the Public Enemy working with Alex Wright and Disco Inferno, Goldberg beating Scott Hall, Juventud Guerrero working with Psychosis, The Giant working with Jim Duggan, DDP with Karl Malone working with Jim Neidhart, Lex Luger and Sting with Kevin Nash and Conan, part of the Wolfpack, beating Kidman and Sick Boy. And then on top, Goldberg beating Hulk Hogan. Woof. What a show. I liked both shows. There were things in both shows I could appreciate, but looking back, to me, it was clear Nitro was the big winner that night.
Yeah, it was because of where we were, the excitement. I mean, if you put them both up together and you just based on fan reaction and fan excitement, obviously we were the better show, even because after he pinned Mankind and the lights came on, you could see the fans weren't into it at all.
No, I mean, they wanted to see big action. And of course, I'm sure they got a great dark match after the show there, and it was tremendous, but it was what it was, man. Nitro was meant to be, and they won pretty handily. Next week, though, we're going to do something totally different. It's Heat Wave 2000. It's an ECW pay-per-view that took place in LA. We've talked about this before. That's when the guys from XPW would try to stir some shit up, but quite the card. We've got Just Incredible in a Stairway to Hell match for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, working against Tommy Dreamer. Rob Van Dam will be in there against his old pal Scotty Anton, who you know is Scotty Riggs. Rhino will be defending his television championship against the Sandman. Tajiri will work with Mikey Whipwreck, Little Guido, and Psychosis in a 4-way dance. Chetty and Nova are going to take on DeBaldies of Tony DeVito and Angel. We've got Jerry Lynn working with Steve Carino in the singles action. A 6-man tag match with Kid Cash, Danny Doring, and Roadkill on one side, with Simon Diamond, Johnny Swinger, and C.W. Anderson on the other. And then we've also got Big Sally Graziano taking on Balls Mahoney. Easy for me to say.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
Lots of fun stuff happening in Los Angeles, and we're going to cover it right around the 20-year anniversary. So don't you dare miss it. It's next week here on What Happened When. And as you alluded to earlier, Tony, we're going to wrap up the month of July with little people masturbating in trash cans and pulling guns on Jeff Jarrett. But as Big Booty Judy says, we've all been there.
Yeah. So we can talk about masturbating in trash cans and pulling guns, but we can't use the word midget. Just so I got that right here in 2020.
I didn't say that. But what I did say is, Tony, it looks like it's about that time.
It is time for a Sad News Bear Battle Royal. Jay-Z Flair, Fat Ass Dave Hancock, Dodo Truckin' Jeff Jewett, Matt Coon, Dave Silva, Cassio, Mike Dawkins, you cheating fucking lawyer, Pondwater Dave, Dick Bourne, and Clint from Hershey all in the ring at the same time. My God, Matt Coon is down. He's asleep. We're desperately out of time. Who's going to win the Sad News Bears Battle Royal? We'll find out next week on What Happened When. Mondays we're on Patreon. And don't forget, on ad-free shows. But also, we are on...
You already said Patreon, but...
Oh,
Patreon.
Wednesday. Wait. Hold on, I'll get it right. Wednesdays, we're on Westwood 1. But Mondays, we are on...
Patron! But we're mostly desperately out of time, and we greatly appreciate your support today. It means the world to Tony and I. Thank you so very much. If you'd like these shows early and ad-free, check us out at adfreeshows.com. If you're looking for a whole lot more of the Tony Schiavone hijinks and the Tony Schiavone experience, if you will, it's at patreon.com/WHW Monday. We'll be back next week with more terrible wrestling from ECW's Heatwave 2000.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.